All right, welcome back. Shout out to Cool Mama. She said, "I can relate with you, Natu. I did the same. I put that energy on working on myself, and it's working well. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's good to know." Shout out to our new member. We have a new member, Sean Mama. Sean Mama. Shout out to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining the membership. Membership is open. All right. So to demonstrate this, a lot of time we put too much focus on the differences between men and women, which there are differences, and I highlight them when that's necessary. But this concept is actually true on either side. Go into a relationship to give. Listen, give or take is life anyway. But that's not seductive by any stretch. Stop saying that it's give or take. It's give or listen. Focus on giving. If you feel like you're not getting, give to yourself. Focus on giving to your. Start by giving to yourself. Be able to give to yourself, and then you give to the other partner. Naturally, you yourself said it's give and take. They will reciprocate. But if you're focused on give and take, what happens is that you end up smothering them. You will just choke. You will choke the life out of that attraction that you have in that relationship. You
Although,
know?
also, right, if you
Yeah.
show yourself love, the other person will see it. But if
Yes.
you're not worried about yourself, you just focus on getting, that's what irritates some people. But you have
Yeah.
to know, I have to fall in love with myself. When I mean fall in love, like I
Mm-hmm.
fell in love with myself, giving myself attention, me time, doing some
Mm-hmm.
little things for myself by myself. Like you have to do it for yourself. You have to show yourself that love that you want
Yep.
others to give you. You attract what you.
Yeah, you they mimic the level of self-love and self-respect you have for yourself. We can start that. Sometimes we need to break it down to pieces for people to get that. But literally, people mimic the level of self-love and self-respect you have for yourself. If you are complaining about disrespect, there's an extremely good chance that you have been disrespectful to yourself, that you lack self-respect. But let me get into this story. This story was on Instablog Nigeria today. Shout out to Instablog Nigeria. Shout out to Prophet OKK. For this video I'm about to play, it says why it's important to sow seed to your wife, right? Again, sow seed to your wife, I think that's actually much more beneficial. Personally, I think if you're a man, listen to this very closely, okay? Because women, again, they are multipliers. Whatever you want peace of mind, bro. If you're not getting peace of mind, there's a good chance there's something there. Okay, we may not be able to pinpoint it. You may like, that don't make no sense. Some women are just, if you can't see my hand, there's middle finger up. These women are just unruly sometimes. Okay, exactly. See what you said, that energy, it's being multiplied for you. Thank you. Let's play this.
You see my wife, you think I just tell her, I say she's my wife, she's my wife. I sow seed to my wife. I will sow seed, she will start speaking in tongues. This is my wife here. Look at her. I saw the seed one day, she spoke in tongues. She said, I don't know how she spoke the tongues. I just woke up, I sent money to her account. Anointing increased. She said something, she said, why won't I be submissive? Oh, why won't I be? Some submissiveness now money go buy her. You are here telling your wife, respect me, respect me. You know they give her money to eat food. Where will the respect come? Sometimes you just provoke something. I buy wine, I come to my wife, give her. There was a time I was buying wine for her she said, this one you are giving me wine. I say, eat, libe, not the keta, libe.
See, you have to tell me what that means. It sounds like evil.
Don't you know that as she is happy, she can say, oh God, this is my husband. More dimension. She might say that, women, their joy in 1 hour. After 1 hour, they don't forget.
All right, let me go
You
to this
see
one.
my wife buy them car. Yeah. Give a woman land now. Oh, my honey, I love you, I love you. The next 2 minutes, say, don't try, not because of that thing you give me. I'll change them for you now. I'll change them. What is there? What is 10 million? She don't have. Women na lie, I've been through. God bless you. Buy them car. Yeah.
All right, so the point is this: is sowing seeds, right? Um, you can look at this in any respect, ramification of life. The men carry the seeds. We have millions of them. We're carrying them around in our sacks, and if you don't understand this, that this principle is applicable in every area of romantic relationship, You will collect. You will just suffer for no reason. You will be busy asking, she's supposed to, she's supposed to. Listen, if women, like based on what Natu just said too, if women have to kind of obey this principle to a large extent, especially at emotional level, what will make you think as a man that you don't have to do this? Now, it sounds like a joke because he's saying money. No, it's not just money. It's literally every aspect of life.
Man of prestige.
Mm-hmm.
So my husband, when he offends me, right, and his ego
Mm-hmm.
kicks in, he doesn't want to say he's sorry. He wake
Mm-hmm.
up like on Saturday morning, he will clean the whole house and mop everywhere. See, I'm telling you, the way how upset I am. Once I don't see that,
Is
one,
that
I'm
is that
like,
your
oh,
love
shit.
language? Is it act of service?
Acts of service is one of my love language. Physical touch is another one.
Which one is the primary one?
Acts of service.
Act of service. Okay, so he
Yeah.
gets it. He understands
Yeah.
it.
So he'll clean the whole house, mop, do laundry, and then another thing is that I don't like cooking. I'm not a big. I will cook, but I don't like cooking. So any day that he wants to get something, I'm like, oh, I'm tired. He's like, you don't have to cook. I'll order. I'll
Yeah,
order. So
yeah.
yeah, for me, like it's a big deal.
That's a
So
big
that one
deal.
for me is like it's a sowing of seed too. Like I don't have to cook today. Wow.
Yeah.
So
Because again, it's emotions, right? It's not stuff you get. It's like you're excited. It's like that smile is coming on your face, and you really don't want to smile, and somebody is tickling you, and then it's going like it's exactly like that. Like if a man understands that, right, he doesn't have to worry about a lot, right? Unless we're worrying about he was attracted to Instagram four corner booty chick, then that's on him. If we're talking about a typical wife that you married that you fell in love with, then they don't just fall out of the skies and start changing behavior. There's a good chance that you haven't paid attention. Okay? And if you're not patient enough to pay attention, that's part of the problems too. She just said, make a roll on back. Let me see if I can find that. He said something in Igbo.
I say she's my wife, she's my wife. I sow seed to my wife. I will sow seed, she will start speaking in tongues. This is my wife here. See her. I saw the seed one day, she spoke in tongues. She said, I don't know how she spoke the tongues.
Okay, that part is not
I
Igbo.
just woke up, I sent money to her account.
Oh, is it?
Anointing increased. She said
no,
something.
you
She
said the
why
Igbo
won't
now.
I
You
be
say it.
submissive? Oh? Why would I? Some submissiveness now money go buy her. You are here telling your wife, respect me, respect me. You don't give her money to eat food. Where will the respect come? Sometimes you just provoke something. I buy wine, I come to my wife, give her. There was a time I was buying wine for her every. She said, this one you are giving me wine. I say, eat, libe, not the kita, libe.
Okay, what did he say there, Chinye? Eat libe, all the kita, something like that. Let's see. May God help me. And I took Igbo in GSS1 though. In Akuna's college,
Really?
for those of you.
Really?
I did. I don't remember Shhhh,
Yeah,
not
I took
even
house.
1,
I
2,
took
3.
house. I beg. That one even from my sleep, I can do it.
But you took Hausa. I took Yoruba too. What's your point?
No, well, we did Yoruba, but the man is always beating us, so
So you just want to run.
we just want to run.
Voila.
Oh my god.
Oh man, yeah. So let me see some of the comments here. Diagram says a partner who feels appreciated and loved will do much more than expected. So many people are disconnected from this. Now, granted, sometimes people have gone through very painful
I think they're
experiences.
missing the point.
You said what?
I said I think they're missing the point.
Yeah, they're missing the point because sometimes, listen, these things are going to be tested in a place of crisis. Like in moments where you really don't feel like giving to this person, right? I think that part we need to talk about it, right? In moments where you really feel like this is completely unfair, why should I be the one to seduction around no at son woni? You're like, why am I the one doing that, right? Why can't they just be nice to me, be kind? What is so hard in being kind to your partner? You start to hear questions like this, and you're right. Here's the part that you might be wrong, right? The human emotions no be your mate. Once you understand that, you realize that that's a powerful thing that you can actually use in your favor, right? He said something just now. Sometimes you just provoke something. That's what I'm calling seduction. Maybe my words is different, right? You provoke it not directly, not by saying you're supposed to respect me, right? Just by understanding that You have much more power than the physical stuff you're seeing. See, these are some of the people's problem, right? You think your power is just the physical stuff, when you know the tangible stuff. You don't realize that there's something that's unseen that you absolutely can influence. He calls it provoke. I call it seduction, right? Over a period of time. No, not just touching her in a certain way and blowing in her ears, then licking her neck. Your wife may not like that kind of stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay? We're talking about you've done something a few hours before she actually pulled your neck closer and licked me right here. That part is what I'm talking about. Not the other way around where you think you read something in a book you're going to practice on your lady. It might not work. Okay? Because actually, something I didn't mention, part of it that I didn't mention is listening. You have to learn. The person that can teach you the most about how to create a relationship with them is the person you're trying to create a relationship with. That's the best teacher. Okay? Let me see. He said, Ribe Ribe Odikita means chop chop a day now. Now, let me see if I can link it. I'm not sure how that links to what it was saying. Let me see.
Yeah, see her. I saw the seed one day. She spoke in tongues. She said, I don't know how she spoke the tongues. I just woke up. I sent money to her account. Anointing increased. She said,
I get it now.
Why won't I be submissive? Oh, why would I be?
It's a fact.
And money go buy her. You are here telling your wife, respect me, respect me. You know they give her money to eat food. Where will the respect come? Sometimes you just provoke something. I buy wine, I come to my wife, give her. There was a time I was buying wine for her every. She said, "This one you are giving me wine." I say, "Eat, libe, not the keta, libe."
I go down, eat. Never mind, right? I get it now. It makes sense, right? Just chop. Like, because he knows he has foresight. He can see beyond the moment, right? And just take care of yourself. I got you, right? What's more seductive than that? When you know that somebody has your back, when you know that, whatever it is, they have your back, right? So that's some of the things that, let me see. Sometimes, okay, this comment rises to the top because they get popular, right? This person says a partner who feels appreciated and loved will do anything. There's probably somebody arguing inside there. Let me see. Let's see. Okay, they're just saying absolutely correct. They don't know. Okay.
No, proceed. Can I say something?
Yes, anytime.
Another thing that I noticed, right? See, people are raised differently. And sometimes before you start going off on your partner, you want to check their background to see how they grew up. Did they grow up in love? What kind of things they faced? And I'm gonna give a little example. My husband talks about it too a lot of times, and that's why I'm talking about it. But their parents passed when they were younger, so they split them to relations. You understand? And the relations didn't treat them good. So he has problems with even connecting. When we're dating, anytime I tell them, oh, he just called, they're like, he make call. He is not a caller. So it took me work and patience to be able to understand. I give him time to come around with the call. So most times I do the calling. Most times I'm the one that do the calling. But if I call, he'll pick. So sometimes some people they're not there emotionally.
Yeah.
I feel like since he provides and do other stuff, I think he's making effort. But sometimes again, they don't even know how to do it or what to do.
Yeah.
So this is where it comes to you focusing on yourself and working on yourself. They look at you and they learn. Because that ego that they have will not let them go outside to go tell someone else that this is what I'm struggling with. But if you're able to do it because they're vulnerable with you to some certain extent, they'll be able to take that initiative from what you're doing and maybe do better. So.
Right. And anything in life is two-sided, right? Two-edged sword, right? So for every time you have somebody that has some kind of child trauma that may affect how they connect, is understanding, because that one thing you're resenting is also good in other aspects of life if you're patient enough to lean in and learn, right? That same issue, like abandonment issues, right, can actually become, if you understand it, there are ways you can flip that to a good thing, and you can now establish connection, because at the end of the day, if the person feels served, if they feel like you have their back, feelings, okay, not what you think it is, their feelings, right? If they feel that way, then they will obviously connect because they don't have a choice at that point. They don't get to control how what they want to connect. You get to take credit for that. You get to say, I understand this person and I can almost make them connect to them. But somebody's going to take me out of context with that and say, how can you make a person? Okay, well, all right. But let me see. Some of this person, this person. Listen, I know all the angles, so it's all good.
Yes,
Respect is earned and not forced. Some men don't know this. And then the alpha. Once somebody calls themselves the alpha, you know what time it is. Usually they're not alpha, but let's keep going.
yes. They just bruise, to just massage their ego.
Yeah. Respect is earned, but to your husband, respect is given same was as you give your parents respect. If your man don't respect you in return, then why married him? Because let me explain this to the alphas that are listening to me. You can be in the middle of a relationship and some events will transpire and a woman can start to lose respect for you. It's not really a choice. Okay. If she's well aware, she might know enough to say, listen, babe, she might not be put into exact words, but she'll be like, when you do this, it makes me feel unsafe. I don't, that's the way of her saying, I'm about to lose respect for you. You might not have the listening ears, or maybe she doesn't want to tell you because you get angry, right? But effectively, she will lose respect for you. People do get into marriage and end up losing respect for their partner. That's what we're talking about. So this idea that don't marry a person you can't respect is in the poto dead on arrival, because everybody marries somebody they felt they respect and will continue to respect. There's some exception to every rule. Okay, there's a chick out there who just wanted your money. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. As a matter of fact, from today on, we don't talk about that here on Men of Prestige. Okay, we don't talk about a situation where the exception of the rule. Some women just want to take your money. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about authentic people, real life good people, men and women. Sometimes there's a disconnect in communication. Sometimes there's pride, that creep into the situation, unrealistic expectations, and they find themselves in divorce court. That's what we're talking about here. The exception, the extreme situations when I want to talk about, like that day that somebody pull out a knife and wait, listen. If I want to talk about that, I will just show you a thumbnail that will bring in 200 people here right now. We won't get to the real conversation. Okay, so we don't talk about that. He says if your man don't respect you in return, then why married him? Why married him? Because she respected him. And things happen in life. It could be, gentlemen, it might not be your fault at all that she started to lose respect for you. It might be our own childhood trauma too. But it's not a choice. It's not a deliberate move. When you start to look at it that way, it's only natural for you to see her as evil. And in other words, when you see somebody is trying to be evil to you, you get defensive, meaning you become offensive to them, right? So you are now in an active war. Why would you want to do that? Does that make any sense? The only reason why you should do that is if you make sure that this person is actually being evil. Then I always say the only thing you should do for them is destroy them anyway, right? How do you destroy them? You destroy the marriage certificate. That advice should go to you, right? If you find out that you marry somebody that's evil, go and burn the marriage certificates, okay? But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about situations where people actually married a person that they respected, but then they cheated once and then it became very hard for them to respect that person, that they're not a man of their words, right? Things like that is what we're talking about. It happens to the best of us, and we have to pay attention to these nuances, because for as long as you keep looking at things as right and wrong, we've got a problem. He says, I'm sure y'all are desperate or carried away because of financial benefits. You see your life? You're thinking that the guy was talking about money. You couldn't read beyond money, right? You didn't hear the part where it said you have to provoke certain things. You couldn't read like, how can I not submit? Oh, your mind just calculate that as she's submitting because of the money. No, it's not. Okay, you're wrong there. Let's keep going. Marry a man that will respect you. Must your, yeah, we know them, the American people. Must understand that respect for your man is given, not earned. No, it's earned, my nigga. It's earned 100% of the time. That's how you fool yourself. Go ahead, Natu. You were trying to say something.
I think the thing just it just
It
you made
skipped
a
you.
statement earlier. Yeah. Oh golly.
Don't worry, you bring it back again.
When
Let
I
me read.
remember, I'll bring it back.
Yeah, let me read this reply. Somebody replied, said, "Oh well, guess
Oh,
you
I think I
didn't on."
remember.
You remember? Go ahead.
Yeah. So it was about forgiveness when you were talking about forgiveness. So if one thing that you have to learn when you enter into marriage is learning to forgive.
Yeah.
And I think it was Samuel L. Jackson. One time somebody was asking him how him and his wife were able to be together for this long.
Hmm.
And he says that anytime the other person offends the other person and the other person says, I'm sorry, they just have instant amnesia over that situation. Like it's gone.
Mm.
Like they don't
Mm.
bring it up. You know, there are no times that you remember, but you just don't bring it up because the person has like
Hmm.
um sincerely tell you that they're sorry. So like forgiveness is one thing because I can remember stuff. Oh. I can
Let me
remember stuff.
let me shock you.
He shock you.
Let me shock you some. It's kind of
No,
funny. It's kind of funny that you finished it by I can remember stuff after you said everything you said.
no, I'm telling you. No, 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 no. I'm just saying.
Wait.
No,
You
I'm
said
just saying
everything
that.
you said, and
No,
then you
no,
said,
no,
I can remember stuff.
Not be juju be that.
no, no, no. Matter proceed. What I was
I
saying
didn't hear
was
you.
that I had to work on forgiveness. You understand what I'm saying?
I
Like
hear
I
you.
don't know how to let go before
Right.
getting married, but getting
Uh-huh.
married now, I have to like learn how to let go. And
Yeah.
also, if I don't want the other person
Let him
bringing it
go.
up, I have to learn not to remind the other person of what they've done. So
Right.
now, if I don't remind them, I'm not enabling them to say it back to me. So that's just the
So
point I'm
so
making.
I agree with you. It's something that women in particular
Obìnrin.
need to be
Leave
extremely
Obiri
aware.
alone.
They have to be very, you have to be extremely intentional about forgiveness. Listen, I'm of the opinion that I tell man, you can't manipulate people into forgiving you. That will work against you. They may tell you they're forgiving
Never.
you, but it will creep back up again if it's not backed by change behavior, right? And consistency, right? So it's just like the same spirit around I'm sorry, right? I'm sorry is useless if it's not backed by change behavior and consistency, right? But a lot of people put a lot of weight on just forgiveness by itself. So in effect, effectively try to manipulate the other person to forgive. Like after all, I've said I'm sorry. Why can't you just forgive me right now, right? Precisely because of what you said last.
Obìnrin.
Women don't forget. Okay, they don't forget every time that they experience the feeling, just the feeling of that connects with the feeling of the last time you offended them. They'll bring it up. It's a frustrating thing for men, right? Men can never really understand why. Like, wait, why'd you bring that up? That's not what we're talking about right now, right? So I hear you. Forgiveness is anybody that's going into marriage definitely needs to um, keep forgiveness very close to their heart, as in like I might need this sometimes in a toolbox. Like I might listen. Oh, there's gonna be days that I might need this. So good point. Good point. Let me see. You forgiving me, right? Not to you did it.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here. I
All right.
have.
I'm
You know,
like
I have worked
crickets.
on it. I have. Trust me.
Let's see here. I'm sure you all are desperate and carried away because of financial benefits. Marry a man that will. Okay, he said that. Then somebody came and responded. Um, oh well, I guess you didn't understand the message I passed, but I will make it clearer to you for better understanding. Before you quote, you all are desperate, carried away because of financial benefits. I meant some husbands want their wife to worship, respect them. Forgetting is a two-way thing. If the wife is respected too, I see no reasons why she would disrespect her husband. Do have a nice day. Now, here's the other side of this conversation. We've had this conversation before, right? Respect, men do crave respect, kind of like how if you have a Nigerian parent, kind of how they think of respect, right? Like, is that God, man, woman, children thing? But it doesn't change the fact that it's earned 100% of time. Gentlemen, if you find yourself in a space where you have to preach this to women, I'm multi collect already near Kole work. It's already too late. It's already too late. The more you ask or you have this rhetoric that the alpha has, the worse it gets. The worse it gets. It's not that alpha is all the way wrong. They tend to be right from a theoretical standpoint. Yes, men do crave respect in that manner.
You're right.
But in real life, when it's playing out, you run your mouth like this to your wife when you can detect that she's clearly not, she don't fancy you right now. You just collect more by talking like this, okay? You need to refocus your energy back on earning that respect, because you get to take full credit for it when she starts to respect you again. When she gets back in her femininity, you get to take full credit for it. When she becomes submissive, you get to take full credit for it. If you understand that trust, submission, respect, what's the other thing? Femininity. It has to be earned 100% of the time. It actually feels better when you know that you're a man enough that she's in love with you. For no, that she can't even explain it, right? As opposed to, no, she did it she just knows that's what she's supposed to do. Listen, women will do that anyway. They will even argue for you right now. They will listen to me. They will argue for you. That's not going to help you, gentlemen. Listen to me closely. You need to pay attention to your power, and your power is not in you running your mouth. It's never been. Sorry, unless you're creating content. I just give myself an out. But yes, any words here before I go on to the next and last story? Natu.
No, I think I've said basically all. Yeah. So and then I think you always say this, like sometimes we have to manage our expectations.
Yeah.
So sometimes we just go to marriage with the idea of like, oh, the husband is the sole provider. He has to do this. He has to do that. He has to do that. But now you don't think of the husband as the sole provider doing everything. He also needs fertilizer. It's like you having a farm, like planting.
Exactly.
You have to fertilize to get a good crop. So
exactly.
there are efforts that you need to put. There are stuff that you need to do to ginger the man into doing what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yep. Exactly.
And there are times that you have a good soil, good fertilizer, good seed, and you put it, but you still not get a good result at the end. So
because nothing is guaranteed in life.
That's right. Does this stop you from farming? No. You clear the farm, start another again. So that's what
exactly.
It is.
Exactly. Everything I say here is easier to say than done. Nothing is guaranteed in life, but it's an extremely good chance that you haven't ever done it. So why don't you try it first? I'll be right back. Let's get into the next and last one for the day.